This movie's awful, but it actually starts out kind of okay. After sequels involving locusts, plus a cool cop thriller, and not one but two archaeological prequels, The Exorcist believer intended to go back to its roots, meaning they were gonna ride high on the nostalgia in this one. It's got Ellen Burstyn back as Chris Macneil, Linda Blair was an advisor on the film, and we can't just have one little girl possessed by a demon. No, this sequel goes bigger. There's two little girls possessed by demons. It seemed like it'd be a safe bet. The film comes from director and co-writer David Gordon Green, whose 2018 Halloween reboot opened to critical and audience acclaim, but it did have two divisive sequels, so maybe this would follow in the same path. It was planned as a trilogy. Perhaps we'd have a solid first film here, followed by two sequels with less critical acclaim. But that wasn't the case. In fact, I wouldn't even call this film divisive. It was straight up trashed by critics and audiences. And this was after it being a joint production between Morgan Creek, Blumhouse, and Universal, and a distribution deal between Peacock and Universal worth $400 million between the three films. Money well spent. When the movie opens, I don't know if the girls are possessed yet, but the dogs might be. Yes, they will make for some fine eating tonight. Here we open in Haiti, close enough to the Iraq opening from the first, where photographer Victor, played by Leslie Odom Jr., and his pregnant wife are on their honeymoon, the best place to get their child blessed. Yes, that's great, but honestly, I could really just use some aspirin and a massage right now. Oh, thanks. My husband does the same thing. They're having a fantastic day together.
I met this woman today at the market who gave me the most beautiful blessing of protection for Angela.
Yes, she gave me a .44 Magnum. As long as they stop by a church, they'll be saved from any kind of possession. Now spit some Sprite on my feet just like you like. Sadly, it appears the foot bath didn't work at all, and now it's a disaster film when an earthquake breaks out, causing all the CGI poles to fall in front of the cars. It is a suspenseful opening. They do well with the sound editing here, and the actors pull off the emotions where he has to choose between saving the life of his wife or his unborn child. And well, we've already got Abby. I don't need another possessed wife film, so let's save the child. I wish I knew a little more about them as characters before the tragedy happens, because already it's 13 years later, and he's now a single dad to his daughter Angela. It's in these early scenes where it does feel like it's in the Exorcist universe, like the fun banter between Victor and Angela, who play well off of each other. It mainly references the first, but it doesn't kick the other sequels out of continuity. The only thing in the Exorcist franchise that it does contradict is the television series, which did have pretty good reviews. But when they have to deal with naggy neighbor Ann Dowd, that's when they're gonna wish a demon moved into the neighborhood. It keeps the crisis of faith too, as Victor has lost his belief in God after God sent the earthquake to kill his wife. Anyway, have fun at school, sweetie. Whatever you do, don't go missing for a few days and come back as a demon. And yeah, we're already doing the remake-able thing, where it's dropping imagery from the first, like the fighting dogs at the beginning, and also he's into boxing, like Father Karras was. If we keep the first one in your subconscious, surely that means you'll like this film. And I don't know what these kids were watching in class, but clearly it wasn't any of the Stranger Danger videos I watched in school. Otherwise they'd know not to go wandering off in the woods. McGruff can't be everywhere at once. You're in danger. The director is good at capturing little moments of non-characters, like this loud family that's acting pretty natural when they're trying to get a picture taken. Then suddenly Angela and her best friend Catherine perform a seance to communicate with Angela's dead mom. Just go buy a Ouija board. That saves you a trip to the woods. Oh, and also it'll keep you from going missing, too. Bad news is my daughter didn't come home. Good news, that gives me plenty of time to get my photo editing done. I'm sure they're just over at a friend's studying. Catherine's parents, Tony and Miranda, are very worried, too. Oh, this was supposed to be our night to watch 911 Nashville as a family. Now you got us out here walking through the woods and finding shady-ass bunkers? The hell's been going on in this town? Like I said, I'd like to know a bit more about these characters before the plot sets in, but these opening moments are pretty well shot, as the cinematographer, Michael Simmons, also shot David Gordon Green's Halloween. This is playing out about like the first time I saw it, which is that when it's a missing persons thriller, it sort of works, but I know it has a turn where it starts to not work. I can't remember what that moment is, so I'm just waiting for it to happen. As for now, the actors are directed well, where their crosstalk feels very real, with some in full panic mode and others trying to keep their cool. The mood is a quiet one too, and I like that. Oh, thank God those girls are gone. Now they can stop messing with my garbage cans. As much as I'm enjoying some of this, I'm also like, okay, if I want to watch something that's consistently better, I should just switch over and put on weapons. Also, if you know someone whose daughter is missing, maybe don't sneak into the man's house and give him a jump scare when he sees what looks like a ghost.
Hey, Victor. Oh, good, you're home. This is my friend, Dr. Beehive.
Dr. Beehive? Okay, who is this person you just met on the street and brought into my home? You get your Josh Gad-looking ass out of my house! It is a little funny that the neighbors are all trying to do the neighborly thing and help out, and in doing so, they're just annoying this poor man. It's okay, with no help from the neighbors or the authorities, the girls are found anyway. Having just did a review of Uli Lommel's The Boogeyman, I should have known they'd be found in Willie's barn, fully protected from evil after Willie painted the possessed mirrors black. Dad is so excited to get the good news. He's gonna cause about 12 accidents in order to get to the hospital. Angela, I'm glad you're home, but you got some explaining to do.
You hurt?
Are you mad at me?
No, I'm not mad at you.
I am fucking furious! I do like that we didn't see what happened to them in the woods, so the audience is trying to put together the mystery as much as the adults are, and some of it is creepy. Like the girls only think that they were gone simply for a few hours when it was actually a few days. I absolutely would watch a true crime series based on this event. Give it to the makers of The Real Murders of Elm Street, the one where crimes happen to happen on an Elm Street, and the reenactments are shot like horror films. That's exactly the type of program that I want to be featured on if I die tragically. Anyways, help us out here, Doctor. Why are our kids now doing creepy girl things, like slowly opening the blinds and staring at each other all weird?
Sure, girls keep secrets, but every test is clean.
Honey, what say we take Catherine to Disney World and just leave her there? Let's take a break. Why don't you sleep this off? Next time you go off into the woods, at least come back with some buried treasure.
And now it's time for Lloyd's Out of Context 911 Nashville Clip of the Week.
Ease your foot off the clutch. That was a little quick releasing the clutch, but you're okay.
Oops, my bad.
We're back. Is the scary demon face here yet? It is, but it's a modern horror movie, so it's gotta be more effects heavy and with loud sound editing. And hey, you get out of here, tree. We're not doing Poltergeist, we're doing The Exorcist. If this movie were a hit, David Gordon Green probably would do Poltergeist next. Angela is not acting like herself. She now comes with a look of she will mess her dad up if he keeps taking too long in the bathroom. And being possessed by a demon is one thing, but now she comes with mysterious teleportation powers. I'm just gonna pretend that didn't happen. So I'm gonna go about my morning completely jolly and bringing her breakfast in bed. Yep, there she is, wetting the bed like she normally does. Glad you're back to your old self, honey. You just clean up in there. I'm gonna give these sheets to the neighbor as a gag gift. Here, the possession even messes with the plumbing. That's odd. I don't recall her taking a bath in gross sewage water before, or getting this mad when I go into her room. That does it, that does it! You are not getting any Rocky Road pancakes for breakfast. Doctor, talk some sense into this girl. Don't worry, sir, ain't nothing that a good ass beating can't cure. We in the medical field have seen this before. Tell me, have you ever seen a little Turkish movie called Satan? The other parents are trying a different method, such as getting her ass to church.
Our beloved Catherine West is home, safe and sound.
Oh yeah, she looks great. Say, she's not freaking contagious, is she? Okay, I think this is the turn in quality here. Who looks at this kid and thinks, she's fine to go to church. Let's just prop her up like she's a creepy doll. They're now wondering where Catherine went, but my question is, why'd you leave her alone to begin with? She's obviously not well, to the point to where, yep, she's gonna reenact the Reagan Macneil walking into the party scene.
Body in the blood. The body in the blood. The body in the blood.
Let's just see where this goes. This is the most entertaining thing to happen in one of the pastor's sermons. Tony's got a good theory. Perhaps it's just hormones.
They walk 30 miles. You think that's hormones? Puberty?
What? That's what the good Dr. James Dobson told us. These two are just Southern religious stereotypes.
Do you know where Jesus went after he died on the cross? He went to hell, and he reappeared 3 days later. 3 days, just like our girls.
You think our girls are Jesus? Yeah, look, can we just blame some pagan video games or something? I can also tell this has the writer of the Firestarter remake on it, a movie that started out okay when it was the quieter moments with the father and daughter, then it got worse the more it became a Firestarter movie, just like how this one gets worse the more it becomes an Exorcist film, but the actors are still really trying, like when he explains his dislike of religion and why he lost his faith. Even when they do the stock paranormal horror movie thing where he's got a neighbor who happens to have some answers, because when she was young she wanted to become a nun, and also Angela knew the secrets from her past. Oh, and also the neighbor conveniently comes with links to the first film, where she gives Victor a book written by Chris Macneil, who ended up writing a bestseller, and went on a speaking tour about demonic possession. You'd think he'd have heard of someone who was a famous actress who then became the face of exorcism awareness. You may go into this thinking Ellen Burstyn would be the tough-as-nails old Laurie of the movie, but it's really a glorified guest appearance. And also where the movie falls flat on its face. Of course, this is the part where it starts playing the Exorcist theme. The movie would be less silly if you went to see Father Leslie Nielsen instead. For instance, we are now treated to the single worst line in the entire Exorcist franchise.
I didn't actually witness it, the exorcism. They wouldn't let me.
Why not?
My opinion? It's because I'm not a member of the damn patriarchy.
What? They both died, saving your daughter's life. You're welcome. What good would have come from anyone being in this room? In the book, she was in the room and then ran out horrified. As for the explanation for why Reagan isn't around in this scene, she and her mom are estranged because of how mad she got that Chris wrote that best-selling book. Okay, that's a long time to hold that kind of grudge. And from the kind of good mom that we know Chris was, something tells me she probably wouldn't have written that book if she knew Reagan had a problem with it. The demons must have known Chris would visit. Oh my god, Reagan. Yes, I know. And why is it now being edited like they haven't seen the first one?
That's not a good idea.
Okay, The Exorcist didn't do cheap shit like that. When there was a jump scare in the first, the mood was quiet and atmospheric, and in Exorcist 3, there was a brilliant build-up to this shot. This movie does things that you would do if you didn't like the first. If I want to watch an Exorcist sequel where someone hated the first, I just watch the Borman film. Apparently, Chris became an idiot over the years, to where no shit they didn't let you in that room. This is only happening so we can get more references to the first.
I gave up my beloved daughter, Reagan.
Yes, movie references, the one weakness of the devil. It's one thing to go into that room alone with an evil force that you know full well of its powers, and another to think, oh, she's perfectly fine now, and just stands there and lets the demon stab her eyes out with a crucifix. This is a travesty what they do to this character, and the movie never ever recovers from it. There's also way too many characters, like how we have Father Maddox asking for approval for an exorcism, as if he's been a main character the whole time, but he's only been in less than 5 minutes of it beforehand. It's okay, she's well enough to give Victor advice.
Hope is what keeps me alive. And that's what you're gonna have to find to do this. What happened in there wasn't your fault.
Yeah, it was the fault of the bad writing. Why is it a church commercial now?
We go to church in times of trouble because we believe it's the house of God. There are people there, other people, but they're also there to affirm their faith in each other.
What, am I watching a PSA? What kind of hospital is this? Oh yeah, sure, the child may have attacked someone, but by all means, take her out of the hospital so you can perform an exorcism in the kitchen. There's ideas that could be good, like how they're incorporating people of God from various different religions so they can all work together. Only they're still treating it as if they've been important characters this whole time, and not just barely in the film. The Super Best Friends episode of South Park was more fleshed out. Look at this, they can hardly fit into the room. And it was nice of the hospital to rent out their medical equipment, where it also messes with Chris's hospital room, so we can still keep her in the movie. We'll be right back. I need to stretch a bit before we get to this climax.
And now let's check back in on that whole tractor situation.
That's why she ran out in front of us. She was trying to save her baby.
Oh no, that ain't mine.
We're back, and I figured out that the one thing that could make this work is if they found an actor who could play Estes Perkle in the scene. Why does there really need to be a bunch of religions here, all talking on top of each other? What, are they just playing the odds? And where's my snake handlers at? Oh, and we have to get this line in here.
Did the power of Christ compel you?
Hey, just like in Chris's book, Ghost, written by William Peter Blatty. Nothing about this is creepy. It's just random and underwritten nostalgia porn. Well, that didn't work. I didn't think it would. There's still 30 minutes of the movie left. Perhaps a good stiff drink will help. And who took the vinegar?
Vinegar offered in jest. That became our salvation.
She knows what she's doing.
I saw her on a late-night infomercial. She is so wise. And see, what good is coming from the parents being in here, where mom has to be told not to touch the kid because clearly she's still evil. She's expelling all the CGI from a breath mint commercial. Then this happens. Oh, wow, I just came up with that on the spot. I'm glad it's doing something. Dad's got the right idea. I'm just gonna stay out here and have a smoke till it's all done. And don't pour that stuff down there. You're gonna create chuds. It's a constant reminder of a far better movie, like when Pazuzu taunted Karis about his mom, only here the demon is taunting Victor, because his demon is that he actually wanted to save his wife and not the child. Oh, and I like this cliche, like when Father Maddox at first leaves and is like, hey, you're on your own, then comes back in hero mode later. Father Maddox, you son of a bitch! Then he dies, so they can do their own take on the head spinning. Pointless! Completely pointless! This is the worst one in the whole franchise. Yes, even worse than 2. At least 2 is entertaining, it was beautifully shot, it was made by someone who had a unique voice, and whether you like the movie or not, it was original. In fact, this is one franchise where the sequels all did a good job of not just doing the first movie again, even when the studio interfered to put more Exorcist references in them. Hell, the 2 prequels were even different from each other, with one being an art film and the other being an effects film. This one is just modern remake-will bullshit that sneaks up on you because it did have a promising start. There's no rhythm to the climax, it's just chaotic. What the hell is Catherine doing in Silent Hill now? Well, at least one of them is fine now, at least. The demon made them choose, but really, it's up to the demon, so he still has a hold of Catherine. And good luck explaining this one! God, I wish Lieutenant Kinderman were still alive. He'd have our backs. I love that the biggest criticism came from Exorcist director William Friedkin, who when he heard it was getting made, he said, "I am gonna possess David Gordon Green and make his life hell." Then he died 2 months before the movie was released. Even in death, Friedkin remained a badass and committed the most epic troll move in history. And why is this still going?
What do you think evil is? I'll tell you what I think it is.
Yeah, I don't care. Where's the obligatory cameo?
No, Mom. It's me.
Cool! Wake me when we get a legacy sequel to Savage Streets, and you got a lot of nerve using the same font and music from the first. Perhaps Catherine will be saved in the sequel. Nope, even though the movie did make a profit, the reaction was so negative that plans for a trilogy were scrapped, and instead Mike Flanagan will be directing an unrelated Exorcist film instead. Whether it turns out good or bad doesn't really matter. I'll be reviewing it anyway. I made it through this film.
Are you looking for a gun?